Good morning, world. I hope you are well. It is Wednesday, February 17th, 2021, and it looks like Hayley Mather has responded to Matthew Good's, press release here. Matt responded to being dropped from Warner Music. Sum up of this story, if you didn't tune into my previous video on the matter, Hayley Mather and Matthew Good were in a relationship. After breakup, Hayley went to her Instagram, made a post basically stating that Matthew had a very unhealthy sexual relationship with her. And she didn't say very nice things, but I said at the time that I think she has the right to say them if that's what she believes, if that's how she feels. She didn't say anything violent or anything that was, a call to legislation, if you will. But the mainstream media, CRTC specifically, decided to pluck out certain words from her Instagram post, publish them, and as a result of their publication, 4 days later, Warner Music dropped Matthew Good from their label. So Matthew has responded to being dropped, and Hayley's responded to that response. So let's go through this. This is what Matthew wrote. I am saddened by Warner Canada's decision. Gender-based violence or abuse is wrong. And let me be clear, neither happened during my relationship with my ex-partner. I would like to affirm my commitment to the women whose courage has inspired the Me Too movement. The past year has been stressful for us all. I asked for privacy so I can focus on my mental health. Matthew. That's it. So after she had made her post dragging his name through the mud and they publish all this stuff, then he gets dropped by his label, he decides to come out saying that kind of, just please leave me alone. And Hayley couldn't. She's decided to come back. Now this is where my tone's kind of changed, because at first I was saying, this woman has the right to express herself, and what the media's done by putting it in their papers is disgusting and were my issue. But if she's not going to silence herself at this point and realize that there's a fire burning and she's the one fanning it, then I think we need to visit her mental state. But here, let's read. And here, I'll stay away from doing voices, guys. I noticed in the comments you didn't like my woman's voice. It wasn't a woman's voice. It was a whiny voice. That's what I was doing. But anyways, I'll stick to one voice. In true narcissistic fashion, this is what Hayley said. In true narcissistic fashion, absolutely zero accountability. For the women that have been affected by Matt or know someone who has, I'd like you to pipe up here if you feel comfortable enough. Even if it's just a hands up, I will not allow him to invalidate us, not to mention he did not address his other victims. So Hayley's now trying to catapult her accusation into other allegations, that there's other victims out there all of a sudden. It's not good enough that she said, and this is where she can get into danger of defamation. I said in the last video that I don't think she said anything that's slanderous or defaming. But if she's going to now start making accusations that there's other victims that Matt has assaulted, now she's walking down that line. And someone in her world better give her head a shake. But if you watch, and let me ask you guys, don't go to Hayley's Instagram. I said in my previous video, let's see if she'll add me. And she did. I'm kind of perplexed on that one. But with that, don't go there and harass her. Don't comment. I just wanted to see who she is and what she has to say. And after seeing some of her posts, she's a beautiful piece. And I don't mean to objectify, but I don't like her as a person up to now. But there's no denying that if I was in a relationship with her, I may coerce her to do some sexual things as well. And I would hate that if she agreed to do them at the time, for her to come out a month after our breakup and say that I somehow mentally abused her into doing those things. You chose to be with that person. You chose to do those actions. And I know Me Too has really opened up the door to things like gaslighting and emotional abuse, which, okay, they are things, but you can't just play the card every time you get out of a relationship that you don't like. I said in my last video, everyone who's been in a relationship more than once probably has some ill things to say about their ex-partner. That doesn't mean that person should lose their livelihood. Recently, there was an article that came out about an Indian doctor who was accused by a reporter of sexual assault. And she did the same thing. She rounded up, I think, 20 other women that were able to come forward saying that he had done things to them. Well, all the cases were acquitted. And that was back in 2018. I shouldn't say acquitted. Most of them just dropped it after he had resigned. They all disappeared. There were only like 4 cases left. Those were all acquitted. Then he went after them for defamation, and just of yesterday, he lost his case. Sucks. But we saw it happen with Brett Kavanaugh, when they were trying to get him into the Supreme Court. And then de Blasio Ford comes out of the woodworks, and then all these women start popping up. Oh, he did something to me. And then guess what? They all disappeared and retracted their statements. Some of them faced charges through the FBI. But that's not what we see in the MSM. We see the Me Too push, the victimhood, but you don't see the real victim. In this case, in my opinion, it's Matthew Good. Anyways, guys, everybody is deserving of a due process and a fair trial in life. And when you do what we're doing here and rely on the media and public response to dictate what we do, I think corporations will realize that they're so woke they go broke. Because you've got a loud voice of people that are a minute amount. So go ahead and drop them from your label. But I'm telling you, someone else is going to pick them up, and he's going to gain more fans because of this. As always, guys, if you like the content, please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video, leave a like, a comment. As always, until next time, peace out.